News Podcast. Abuja.
Wake up. Reach out. Speak up. Speak out. You are the voice of a new generation. And this
is your station.
Talk Radio 93.7 Citizen FM.
This is 93.7 Citizen FM. Abuja.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Citizen FM News at noon. I'm Lawrence Omoite. President Bola Tinubu has reassured Nigerians of his commitment to making citizens' lives better. The president re-echoed this assurance while receiving the class of 1999 governors who called on him at the State House, Abuja. He assured them that it is his dream to see a better Nigeria, as he wants Nigerians to know that the decisions that he has taken so far might be painful, but it was in the interest of the nation.
The palliative is coming. I'm doing the arithmetic. I don't want people in the cash transfers to fall into wrong hands. So please help persuade them to be a little patient. I know it pinches. I know it's difficult. But at the end of the day, we are going to all rejoice in the prosperity of this country.
The chairman of the class of 1999 governors, Lucky Igbinedion of Edo State, conveyed the president's message after a closed-door meeting of the class in the council chamber as he spoke to journalists.
We came to assure him that he has our full support and prayers for the bold steps he has started to take for his initiatives, and also let him know that this is beyond party politics. We are not talking about the project Nigeria. Therefore, all hands must be on deck to give Mr. President the needed support and encouragement to foster a better country.
The federal government remains committed to issues of girl-child education and gender empowerment and will promote the same in the policies and programs of the government. This is according to Vice President Kashim Shettima when he told delegation from the United Nations in his office on Wednesday. The Vice President received the delegation led by the UN Deputy Secretary General and Chair of the United Nations Sustainable Development Group, Amina Mohammed, in Abuja. The educationist activist, accompanied by the United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed, told State House correspondents that visiting Nigeria was part of activities to mark her 26th birthday.
Our ask here in Nigeria is that government, all states and all party members make a commitment to ensure that every child in Nigeria has access to a complete education, which includes senior secondary education as well, that every child has access to a free and quality education.
On her part, Mrs. Mohammed said that Malala's visit was in furtherance of advocacy for girl-child education. She said that by the high number of out-of-school children in Nigeria, Malala should be an inspiration for relevant authorities to address the challenge.
We have a large number of out-of-school children. We know that the quality of education is not what every child should have in this country. And the advocacy to an administration that is coming in that believes in education is an important timing.
The Senate on Wednesday revisited an alleged uneven disbursement of intervention loans to the tune of 483 billion naira by the Development Bank of Nigeria, shared among the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. The Senate, in a bid to resolve the issue raised by Senator Alin Dume last week, set up a 7-man ad hoc committee to carry out a holistic investigation into the matter and report back to the Senate in 4 weeks for further legislative actions.
Southwest got 57%, but Lagos got 47%, and other 5 states of the Southwest got 10%. South-South, 17%, North Central, 11%, Southeast, 9%, Northwest, 5%, and Northeast, 1%.
Other senators, however, disagreed with Senator Ndume, saying the fund was a loan with interest and not a grant.
The microfinance banks were not capitalized as one of the criteria. They don't have the capital to be able to get, because there is certain counterpart funding that you have to prove you have before the bank will release that funds to you. The ownership structure of the Women Bank of Nigeria is unique. IFC, World Bank have shares in that bank. It is not a wholly owned Nigerian Development Bank. The equity holders that I've mentioned, they set the guidelines with respect to the disbursement requirements. Okay? And in most cases, they look at the feasibility report, they look at the bookkeeping, they look at the collateral requirements, and many other credit requirements.
Nigeria's immediate past Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has been appointed as a global advisor on clean and sustainable energy assets by the Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet to meet critical climate goals during the next decade. The organization announced his appointment during a press briefing in Lagos on Tuesday. They noted that there was a need for governments of many developing countries to understand the situation.
Just in terms of creating the coalitions and partnerships that are important, this is so globally all over. But I think it is more so where, and you find in many parts of the developing world in particular, there's a need for governments to understand, and this is so, and perhaps not just in the developing world, for governments to understand the economic opportunities that lie in climate action.
The Nigerian Navy has destroyed wellhead in 2 different locations where major acts of economic sabotage are taking place unhindered in the creeks of Rivers State. The Navy, in its bid to frustrate efforts of oil asset saboteurs at the oil mining site being operated by the NNPC, intercepted and foisted moves by the oil thieves to continue their nefarious act.
And just yesterday we had one of our assets, the naval helicopter, to do aerial patrols. And it was in the course of the patrols that we discovered this site. Immediately, gunboats were scrambled, and we had our personnel. They slept here actually. Throughout the night, they remained here, so that none of these assets that is being used to steal crude will be taken away.
And for some foreign news now, Kenya will exploit the strong ties it enjoys with Iran to expand trade. President William Ruto said the trade volumes between the 2 countries are still low, but with a potential to grow. He explained that Kenya and Iran will strike a formula that will facilitate higher exports of tea, coffee, and meat. He made the remarks after holding talks with President of Iran, Ephraim Raisi.
This highly productive visit has been an excellent opportunity for us to renew and reaffirm the strong bonds of friendship and solidarity between governments and people of Kenya and Iran. Today, President Raisi and I have witnessed the signing of 5 memoranda of understanding on cooperation in information, communication and technology, fisheries, animal health and livestock products, and investment promotion. These memoranda will enhance and further deepen our bilateral relations for sustainable growth and development between our 2 countries.
Speaking at a joint press conference with his Kenyan counterpart, President Ibrahim Raisi said Iran and Kenya have great capacity to expand their bilateral cooperation and paying attention to those capacities that can help improve relations between the two countries.
We believe that relations between Iran and Kenya could be strengthened on a daily basis. The African continent is full of capacity and opportunity. Despite all the threats and sanctions of our adversaries, we have managed to register advances in different fields, and today we should call Iran a technology hub. We have managed to overcome present sanctions and have also upgraded our status in different fields.
And in sports, former Super Eagles captain Austin J.J. Okocha has been invited by Africa's apex football body, the Confederation of African Football, to grace today's 45th Ordinary General Assembly and the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying draws. On June the 2nd, FIFA released the ports for African qualifying draws for 2026 Mondial, which will be co-hosted by Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Okocha and some African football legends will be in attendance as the Ivorian capital of Abuja hosts two major events on the continent's football calendar.